Hello friends, and welcome back to a brand new video. I am sitting down today. We're doing a little sit down video because I want to talk to you guys about this cleanse that I recently did. I actually finished the cleanse 1 week ago today, and so I wanted to share my full experience and just all the benefits that I saw and just like explain to you exactly how it went, how I was feeling, what I ate, everything that I did during this cleanse. If you've been following me for the last few weeks, you might have seen on some other vlogs that I posted that I had mentioned that I was doing a fruit cleanse, is kind of what I'm calling it, I guess. I was mostly eating fruit. I'd say like 95 to 99% fruit is what I ate for 10 full days. And I honestly, truly have never felt better in years. Like I can't remember the last time that I felt so good. I actually wrote down some notes on my phone, like talking points that I definitely didn't want to miss. So I might be looking at my phone from time to time throughout this video. But yeah, I just want to explain to you how it went, what I was eating, my full experience of just eating fruit for 10 days. Some people might call this like a raw vegan diet. I wasn't super strict about like the raw vegan part. I guess I was about the vegan part, but anyway, some stuff that I had wasn't like maybe technically raw, but we will get into everything. I kept really good records of every single thing that I ate and drank and how I was feeling and all that stuff throughout the entire 10 days. So I'm gonna share everything with you, and I hope that it will be helpful. Okay, I want to jump in here quickly. I already filmed this video, but I want to jump in the beginning because I completely forgot to explain to you the reason behind why I even had the idea to do this cleanse in the first place, or this like fast, whatever you want to call it. So basically around like 7-8 years ago, I had a skiing accident where I broke my knee snow skiing and I had to have surgery for it, and I was healing. Everything seemed to be going perfectly fine for like a month. I felt like I was really getting better. I was walking already and everything seemed fine. All of a sudden, I had a horrible, like just chronic pain in my foot, the same foot that I had my knee surgery on, which is my right knee. And the pain was so intense. You can't see anything wrong with my foot. Like my foot looked completely normal, but I had excruciating pain in that foot for like a solid week before I did anything about it. I was like, oh, it'll go away, it'll go away. Wasn't going away. So obviously I went to the doctor that did my surgery on my knee, and I was like, hey, what's going on with my foot? I'm pretty sure it's like connected. And he's like, oh gosh, yeah, sometimes you can get nerve damage. It has a specific name, which I actually don't know what it's called right now. It's called like neuroperipheral. I could be getting that completely wrong. I'm definitely not a doctor, not a scientist at all, but it was something that was pretty common with like major trauma to a limb or to your body. Like you can have nerve damage that like happens to other parts of your body that aren't even like correlated. So anyway, I was having this crazy nerve damage pain in my foot, and he's like, yes, it might go away on its own. It actually might never go away. So you could be living with this pain your whole life. And I was like, well, that's not happening because I like can't even walk basically. I was in so much pain. I could literally cry thinking about it. It was like a really dark, horrible time in my life. Like it was constant pain like I'd never experienced before. So that's what the surgeon told me. And I was like, okay, well, we're not accepting that diagnosis. So I went to an acupuncturist, and this beautiful, amazing Chinese medicine doctor gave me lots of Chinese herbs to take, and she was doing my acupuncture like 3 times a week. Tried that for a while. It didn't really seem to be helping, so I went and got some scans done by like a neuro something or other, and they scanned me and hooked me up to all these machines and stuff, and they were like, yeah, no, we don't know what's wrong. We don't know how to help you. And I was like, cool. This is such a long story time, and Josh just got home from work, so I might have to pause and continue later, but okay, I'm gonna try to get through this. So I feel like I was trying a lot of different things, and nobody was able to tell me like how to heal myself, if I was gonna live with this forever, like what was going on. And I was like, I'm not gonna live with this forever. So I'm just like praying so hard for the Lord to just like take the pain away because it was really bad. I did not think I was gonna get emotional in this video today, but it was really bad. So I was coming to the end of my rope, and I was like, I can't live like this. What am I gonna do? And I had remembered that there was a man called Dr. Robert Morse who is a naturopathic doctor, and he shares online how to heal from pretty much anything. He says that he can heal people from anything, which is a really crazy statement to make, but that's what he says he can do. So I was like, okay, I'm at my wit's end, might as well try it. And basically, Dr. Robert Morris's whole deal is that he teaches people how to eat fruit to heal themselves. And he also offers like different herbal remedies and things like that, like tinctures of herbs that you can take to help like speed along the healing process. And like really cleanse out your body. So I literally called the Dr. Robert Morris office, and it wasn't him that answered, obviously. It was like someone that worked in his office, and I was like desperate. I was like, you guys, like I need help. I'm in so much pain. I don't know what to do. I was like asking them if I could like buy herbs from them. Like, what would you recommend? I told them my whole story and like what was going on with my foot. And this was totally free, by the way. I just like called them on the phone and they talked to me for like 10 minutes, which was really sweet. And they were like, honestly, like just eat fruit, try it out for a week or two and see how you feel and see if that helps. And I was like, are you sure you don't want to like prescribe me some herbs to take or whatever? Like I really want to do the most as soon as possible because it's really bad. And they're like, no, just like eat the fruit and see what happens. So obviously the next day I go to the Asian market, I go to Whole Foods, I get all this delicious, beautiful fruit, like a bounty of fruit. And I was like, okay, we're just gonna eat fruit, I guess. So I started eating lots of mangoes. I would like sit down and have like a giant bounty of mangoes. I would eat like 5 to 7 mangoes in one sitting because that's how much it really takes you to like feel really full and satisfied on fruit. And it was beautiful and I loved it because I love fruit. And I swear to you, after like 3 to 4 days, my foot started feeling better. And after between like 7 to 10 days, the pain was completely gone. And I had been dealing with this for like about 3 weeks at that point. So I was of just like constant chronic pain. Obviously it felt longer than 3 weeks. When I think back on it, I was like, oh, I was having that pain for months, but it felt longer than it was because it was so miserable. So yeah, after 10 days of just eating fruit, my foot was healed, my nerve damage was healed, and it literally never came back, which was just like such a miracle. And also I feel like I am a very spiritual person. Like I love Jesus and I prayed a lot during that time. So I think the Lord was also answering my prayers, but also like the fruit just felt like it felt like I was doing exactly what I was supposed to do. You know what I mean? You know how you get like an icky feeling in your soul and your body if you're doing something that just like isn't right and you're just like forcing it? This was the opposite of that. I was like, this is amazing. And it just felt like I was on the correct path, and clearly I was because I got healed really quickly and it was a gorgeous, wonderful experience. Okay, that story time was way longer than I wanted it to be, but I just wanted to get it all out there. So that is my experience with doing a fruitarian diet in the past, and my story of like healing from it. So yeah, that is the backstory of the reason why I even knew about what eating fruit was gonna do for me and why I felt like this was a good idea and why I even had the idea to do it. I definitely have one of those like all or nothing type of personalities, so I feel like it was really good for me and important for me to do this like really serious like fruit only diet for a specific amount of time. So that was kind of like resetting not only my body but my mind and like my spirit, and like everything just felt like it was like getting cleansed and renewed and kind of transformed. And then now I'm just kind of going into my regular life, just being a lot more mindful and making better choices and being a lot more, like I said, just thoughtful and like eating cleaner and stuff like that. So, okay, now jumping back in time a little bit to the rest of the video before I explained this whole story. For me, this cleanse, as I'm calling it, I feel like it's more just like of a reset, but I don't know what else to call it other than like a cleanse or like a fruit fast. But I was also adding a couple little extra things in that weren't fruit. For instance, I had some coffee every day. Speaking of which, I've got some right now. This is just 2 shots of Nespresso espresso, and then I filled it up with water to like here, and then a big splash of Oatly oat milk, and it's delicious. So the only other things that I had apart from fruit during this 10 days was coffee and pickles and hemp seeds. And that's pretty much it. I will say, I don't think I would have been able to stick to it for a solid 10 days if I didn't have the coffee and the pickles. It sounds kind of random, but it just feels so nice to have something nice and warm. Oh, I also had like hot herbal teas in the evenings, which was really nice. So yeah, I had my coffee, which I really feel like is just very satisfying, and like I feel like coffee just naturally kind of curbs your appetite, so that was really helpful in the mornings. And then anytime I was craving like salty or savory food, I would always have a couple pickles. The Grillo's pickles are my absolute favorite. They are so good. I like the regular ones and the spicy ones. I could literally eat them all day, but anytime I was craving a little something salty or savory, I would have that, and it really did help so much with that craving. And obviously there's no fruit that's like a salty fruit apart from maybe tomatoes, which I consider a vegetable. So sometimes on a couple of occasions I did have some cherry tomatoes, but yeah, the pickles were such a lifesaver for like the salty cravings. So yeah, I had fruit and coffee and pickles for 10 days straight, and it was fabulous. I have truly not felt so good in years. When I tell you, I did not have bloating at all for like even a second during the 10 days. It was shocking because I am someone who is basically chronically bloated, and I believe it's mostly just stems from dairy because I am a little bit lactose intolerant. When I was growing up, I was like severely lactose intolerant, and I feel like I grew out of it a little bit, or like my body got used to it a little bit, but I definitely do not agree very well with regular dairy, which is such a shame because it's so delicious. And I know that I'm never gonna give it up completely. Like I don't think I'll ever be like 100% dairy free or vegan again in my life, but I know that my body would probably thrive the most on that, but my soul would not be as happy. So anyway, I feel like having no dairy and just having fruit, which is super easy to digest, really helped my system just like take a break and relax. And I literally was not bloated at all for 10 days, which is like, I was shocked. I kept telling Josh, I'm like, my stomach just feels so good. I'm like, I don't know how to explain it apart from my stomach just feels settled and like flat and just happy. Like my stomach was so happy from the fruit. It was amazing. Sorry if this video just feels like I'm just like brain dumping / like word vomiting to you guys right now because I'm not super organized with like all my thoughts on this. But I guess I'll just run through quickly all of the benefits that I experienced. Obviously the first one and like the most noticeable one was the no bloating, which was incredible, which I have obviously explained. The second thing that I noticed is that I had so much more free time on my hands because I was not worried about like cooking or thinking about recipes or anything like that for an entire 10 days. I literally was just eating fruit, so I didn't have to really prepare anything. Honestly, fruit is so good. I can't tell you how much I love fruit. Like, first of all, it is so delicious. It is so quick and easy. It's usually really inexpensive. Fruit is literally fast food if you really think about it. Like, you just grab it and you eat it. It's usually already in its own packaging, like from nature, and it's just so good, and it tastes like candy. Fruit is literally nature's candy. It tastes so good, and there's so much variety. And even within like one bag of grapes, this might make me sound a little woo-woo or crazy, but I don't care. A bag of grapes has like so many different flavors in it. It's so crazy. Every single grape can like taste so different. I feel like when it's the only thing you're eating, you can really notice and appreciate all the little nuances of flavor and deliciousness in each fruit. Like I could literally have like a pile of mangoes all from the same exact place, and every single one of those mangoes would taste different in like the most beautiful way. So it's so weird. I probably sound like totally woo-woo and whatever, but fruit is magical, okay? Another thing I noticed that was really cool is that I feel like I was just way more clear. Like my mind was just a lot more clear and crisp, and I could like think faster. I wasn't like foggy or groggy at all. I feel like I had so much energy, and I was just like very clear and focused, if that makes sense. I don't know the science behind that or how that works, but that's what I noticed. I just felt really clean and clear and bright and like alive and really joyful, which was really cool. And I had so much energy as well. That's another benefit. I feel like I was very full of energy. I was sleeping really, really well, which I think has to do with digestion a lot. And then also I was using the sauna almost every single day while I was doing this cleanse, which felt so good just to like sweat and like really maximize the like detox and stuff like that. So with the digestion thing, I believe that fruit is very easy to digest. It's not very taxing on your digestive system, which like a lot of other things like a lot of protein and dairy and gluten and stuff like that can be a little bit hard on your digestive system and take a lot longer to digest. And I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist. I probably should have said that in the beginning of the video, but it's pretty clear I'm not that person. I'm just sharing my experience with you. I don't know any of the scientific details behind what I'm doing and like how it works in the body and stuff like that. I just want to share my experience with you about how I felt, how I did it, and all of the benefits that I noticed. So anyway, as I was saying, with digestion, I feel like eating fruit is so easy on your digestive system. So whenever I'm sleeping, my body is focused on other things in my body, like healing and fixing and like regenerating other parts of my body, apart from like focusing on just digesting my food, because I tend to eat dinner pretty late. And so usually when I go to sleep, I'm still digesting the food that I had for dinner. So basically eating fruit every day for dinner, my digestion system didn't really have to work for that. So when I was sleeping, all of the energy that normally would go to digesting my food was going to like healing and regenerating my body. So, and just making me feel like really well rested, which was beautiful. And that was one of my favorite benefits, is that I just felt like I slept so good during those 10 days. I honestly have never slept better in my life. I fell asleep really quickly. I woke up feeling full of energy and like light and bright in the morning, which is not like me. I'm not typically a very natural morning oriented person, if that makes sense. I am if I go to sleep earlier, but I tend to stay up a little bit late. But I think another thing that helped with my deeper sleeps was my sauna usage that I did almost every single day. I read up a little bit about the sauna, and obviously it helps you detox and like sweat and stuff, but it also apparently is really good for your sleep cycle, which I didn't realize. And so I think that helped as well, but also just like my digestion was just chilling when I was sleeping. So that was great. Oh, I didn't really work out much at all during this cleanse. I did a few long walks, but I probably only went on like 3 or 4 long walks. So I didn't do anything like intense or serious. Even though I felt like I had the energy for it, I just felt like it wasn't like super necessary while I was doing this to like put that extra thing onto my body, which I probably would have been fine with, but I just wasn't feeling it, so I didn't do it. I did not experience any real detox symptoms. Like I didn't really have a headache, or I didn't notice anything detoxy. Like a lot of people, their skin will get a little bit crazy when they're detoxing, or they'll have like crazy things going on with their digestive system. But I actually didn't really notice anything detox wise, which I'm not sure if I would have, like if I kept going longer, I'm sure that I would have noticed some of that stuff, but I just didn't. So that was kind of nice. I didn't have to deal with that. And then obviously the most major benefit and like transformation that I experienced during this 10 days is that I lost 9 pounds. Literally on the dot, I lost 9 pounds over the course of 10 days, which is kind of crazy. That's almost a pound a day, which is really, really fast. And I really, really want to stress this, that I was not at all starving myself or depriving myself of anything. Like I truly was feeling so good. I felt so satisfied throughout the entire process. When I was hungry, I ate, and I really ate a lot of fruit. That's another thing that I want to stress, is that I wouldn't just have like a tiny bowl of grapes if I was having grapes for breakfast. I would literally eat like a half of a giant bag of grapes and eat until I felt completely full and satiated. And then if I was hungry a couple hours later, I would have more. If I was craving something salty, I would have my pickles, or I would have like coffee if I wanted something warm. So I really don't think I deprived myself at all. Like I genuinely felt really good the whole time, which I think is really important to note. Like I'm not in the business of depriving myself. Even if I wanted to, I don't think I'm strong enough for that, because I'm such a foodie and I literally like don't have self-control. So I wouldn't have been able to do this if I felt like I was like hungry the whole time or anything like that. So just want to make that very clear. Okay, now I'm going to quickly go through and show you guys the things that I ate throughout this 10 days. See, I wrote down literally everything in my notes app. I weighed myself every single morning, so I have like my little morning weigh-in, which I don't think I'm going to share with you. Like maybe in the comments if you guys really want to know, if you care enough and if you're bold enough to ask me how much I weigh, maybe I'll share it with you. But I don't want to trigger anybody or make anyone feel any type of way with like sharing the actual numbers of my weight. Not that I actually care that much like to share. I don't think it's like that big of a deal, but I'm just gonna keep that to myself for now. Okay, so I'm just gonna quickly go through. I'm not gonna tell you like the exact amount, because I didn't actually write down the exact amount of things that I ate. So I'm just gonna quickly run through the types of things that I would eat on a daily basis. So I would have my coffee in the morning. I ate lots of nectarines. I ate lots of grapes. I had pickles. I had this really delicious, okay, this is a really big tip. If you're craving something warm and yummy in the evening, like a little sweet treat, but that's also like warm, because eating fruit is just like cold all day and like you just kind of want something warm, you know? So in the evenings, I had this thing called Tea Chino, which is this amazing brand of like herbal coffee basically. So it tastes like coffee, but it's made out of like, I think it's like carob powder and barley and like toasted herbs and things that taste like coffee. So I would make that tea and I would add a little splash of Oatly, and coconut sugar. I did have Oatly, which is not technically raw vegan or fruit or whatever, but I'm making the rules because this is just something that I made up. I'm not like following any specific fruitarianism or raw veganism or whatever. So if you're a fruit Nazi, peace. I don't want to hear it in the comments. Anyway, moving on. Some other things that I ate during this process were lots of strawberries, lots of grapes like I mentioned, blueberries. I also had lots of green juice. I drank pineapple juice that was like cold pressed and stuff. I ate lots of honeydew with lime squeezed on the top, which was so delicious. I also had papaya with lime, which is like one of my favorite things in the world. It's so good. A few times I made this delicious like banana milkshake, which was so good. It was basically just frozen bananas with hemp seeds, a little bit of coconut sugar, which is like unrefined and like not bad for you, and maca powder, and it tastes so good, you guys. It's just like so satisfying and creamy and delicious. I also had some plums, some oranges, like those Sumo mandarin oranges. They're the best ever. I had a passion fruit juice one day, which was delicious. Lots of kiwis, watermelon, yeah, more kiwis, mangoes, lots and lots of mangoes. Oh my gosh, they're so good. And then on the last 2 days, I started incorporating some salads into my diet because I feel like it was good to like ease my digestive system into eating more things that were like a little bit more tricky to digest or just take a little bit longer to digest. And I feel like salads, like greens and veggies and stuff, are a little bit more heavy on the digestive system than just regular fruit is. I had a really big salad with spinach, cilantro, celery, apples, and this really delicious dressing from Primal Kitchen, just their Italian dressing, and it was really good and like super clean. Also, I had some dates, which are just so good. It's literally candy, like they're just so sweet and yummy. Yeah, that is basically all the types of things that I was eating. I was genuinely so satisfied, felt so good, was so excited for more fruit every day. You'd think I would get sick of it and like be craving something else, but genuinely I was so excited to eat more fruit every day. Like when I woke up, I was like, ooh, I want to have papaya, or I want to have some mangoes, and like would get really excited about my breakfast. Okay, now I'm gonna quickly go through how I felt every day because I wrote a tiny little like sentence about how I was feeling every day. So the first day one, my notes were felt great all day. That's all I said. Day two, slept great last night, felt good all day, several poops. Sorry if that's TMI, but I felt like it was important to note that like things were moving and grooving and I was like clearing out, which was great. Day three, I said felt good all day except weirdly had, oh yeah, this was a weird thing. Maybe this was detox, but I don't know. I said felt good all day except weirdly had super achy legs for an hour before bed. Just my upper quads and hip area felt like super achy, which was really random and like rare for me. That like doesn't really happen. But when I woke up, it was perfectly fine and like back to normal. So I don't know what that was about. I hadn't like done a big workout or walked for much that day, so I don't know where they came from, but that happened. Okay, on day four, I said I should have ate a bit more throughout the day, but otherwise I felt great. My tummy feels so good, in all caps, like it's working the way that it's supposed to. I feel amazing, lots of energy, and not bloated at all once since I started this, and that was on day four, and I was like shook that I wasn't bloated. On this day, yeah, I didn't eat that much because I was out and about with a friend. I remember not being able to eat that much that day because I like wasn't at home and like have all my stuff accessible, so I was probably feeling a little bit hungry that day, which is why I wrote that I should have had more like stuff with me throughout the day, but that's okay. I made it through, I survived, and I had a big dinner when I got home. Day five, felt good all day, ate a lot at the picnic. Oh my gosh, you guys. Me and my friend Isabella went on this really cute fruit picnic together. She's so sweet and supportive, so she knew that I was like doing this fruit cleanse. I will say one of the downsides with doing something like this is the social aspect. I feel like that was the hardest part to get through for me, was that I couldn't really like go out to normal restaurants or like go meet my friends and just like have a normal, you know, meal with them. So my friend Isabella was super sweet and supportive. She knew what I was doing, and she said, let's go have a little picnic. We can both bring some fruit and just go sit on the beach or somewhere and have a little picnic. And I was like, that sounds beautiful. So that's what we did. I'll insert some clips from our picnic because it was really cute. So on day five, the day of the fruit picnic, I said, felt good all day, ate a lot at the picnic, so I wasn't feeling hungry for the rest of the day. Stomach feels super flat and comfy, no bloating, feeling very good, smiley face. Yeah, pretty much every single day just says felt good all day, no bloating, etc, etc. Like there's nothing really crazy to say. Okay, but on day 10 I said felt amazing all day, definitely ready for some regular food though, lol. So by day 10 I was getting a little bit like, okay, I'm ready for some real food. I want to go to a restaurant. I want to go like be normal with my friends and with my husband, go on a little date night. So after day 10, we were at the beach on a little vacation with our friends who were visiting from Tennessee. So we basically were on vacation for like 4 or 5 days as soon as my cleanse finished. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna like let loose a little bit. I wanted to make good choices still and like not go crazy, but I was like, okay, I'm gonna like enjoy myself and eat what I want. So I definitely went a little bit over the edge of what I should have been eating, I feel like, because my stomach definitely hurt. Like I went from having zero bloating whatsoever to, for the next like 4 or 5 days, being completely bloated the whole time because I did have a little bit of dairy. So I probably should have eased back into normal eating a little bit slower, but no regrets. You know, I enjoyed my life, I enjoyed my time with my friends, but it also was a really good lesson to be like, a stark contrast of like, I felt so good for 10 days, like no bloating, feeling amazing. And then as soon as I start eating like regular food, AKA like fried stuff, dairy, gluten, all the things that we know genuinely just like aren't the best for us, I did not feel good at all eating those things. So I did enjoy them in the moment, but I was like, it's really not worth it. Like my stomach hurts so bad. So over the last few days since I've been home from the beach, from that little trip, I've been back to healthy eating, not 100% raw or like eating just fruit or anything, but I've been eating much cleaner, no dairy really at all. And just like feeling so much better, like more like myself. So I think I gained back like a couple pounds during that like 4 or 5 days that I was eating whatever I wanted since after the cleanse, but it's okay. I feel good and I feel like I'm on a really good path now. I feel like it was a really, really good reset for me. And now I just like know what to do to make my body feel good. And I'm eating a lot more fruit and salads and like cutting back on the dairy and the fried stuff and like the things that I know don't make me feel good. So yeah, whew, I feel like I'm talking for a million years. If you have any questions at all or feel like I missed anything important that I should have shared here, definitely let me know in the comments. I'm excited to continue on this health journey and like weight loss journey and share with you guys as I go. Hopefully I can help inspire a little bit of healthy change in your life if that's something you care about. I'm sure it is if you're watching this far into the video. Gosh, I feel like I was a bit disorganized with this video. I wish that I had like made more clear bullet points about what I wanted to talk about and stuff, but I just feel like this was just a big brain dump, sharing with you everything that I experienced and felt and all the things that I benefited from throughout this fruit cleanse slash fruit fast, whatever you want to call it. I don't really know what to call it because it's not like a real thing, you know, I just made it up myself. So yeah, that is my story. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I really hope that you got something from it. And I love you guys. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I'm going to be sharing lots more about my health journey and like weight loss and all that stuff in the next few months as I experience it. So I hope that you will join me and I hope that you get something from it. That's the most important thing. But I love you guys. Thanks for being here. I'll see you in another one very, very soon. Bye.